Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for this event. I am sure you know each year school districts across the state are asked to demonstrate appreciation and recognition to the members of the Board of Trustees for their service to their community. In the past, that usually meant that student groups would make a presentation at a board meeting in January. This year, our board president suggested that the honor be given to all former board members instead. It's important that the rest of the school board agreed. Every now and then you have the opportunity to honor the past and take stock and to go against the norm. And this again, McAllen ISD has shown itself as a leader. To know the value of appreciating beyond the present and to know that it cannot successfully execute the day-to-day without honoring all the past decisions, sacrifices, and work that has been done by previous board members. This is an audience that truly understands the rigor and the demands of the job. Like no one else, you understand that for every 4-hour meeting, you have to invest as many as 12 hours to prepare for it. By attending subcommittee meetings, visiting schools, listening to stakeholders, and doing a lot of reading, and for all the greater good of this district. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you the people who are presently carrying on your work. Mrs. Debbie Crane Aliceda, President. Mrs. Hilda Garza de Seijo, Vice President. Mr. Daniel Vela, Secretary. Mr. Sam Salivar, Jr. Mr. Larry Lawrence Esparza, and Jonathan Ball, and Erica de la Garza also. And now I ask you, the members of our audience, to please stand and be recognized if you have ever served on the McAllen ISD Board of Trustees. Please stand if you have served on the McAllen ISD Board of Trustees. Also, if you're here representing the family of a former trustee, please stand as well. Thank you most humbly for your service. I often state that I've been blessed because I happen to work with a group of people who are passionate and devoted to children. They give great care and thought to every decision. But they also happen to be the type of people who are bold enough to take a big leap and commit to the real willingness to change. It's genuinely inspiring to be in a room filled with so many like-minded souls. If you take nothing else away from this evening, please let this be the message. There's a collective feeling of genuine appreciation for all of you. The ladies and gentlemen who have served McAllen ISD as members of our present board and our past boards, and all that you've accomplished over the years to lead us to this great place in our history. Thank you very much. Ms. Aliceda.
Hello, everybody. Bienvenidos. Please know that this Board of Trustees, we recognize what you have done for McAllen, and we are delighted to be walking in your shoes, carrying the torch, if you will. Last year, when our board won State Board of the Year, we felt a little uncomfortable because we knew that it was not just our work that led us to that designation. We knew that everybody in this room, all the collective work that you've done led us to that position, and we were so appreciative of that, and we were so grateful. Just as our founding fathers set our country on a path for greatness, our founding board members set McAllen ISD on a path of greatness. We know that every board that followed has felt what we feel today, a very real sense of admiration, adulation, if you will, towards the board that came before them. It is that heartfelt appreciation that brings us to this moment today to thank you. McAllen's former Board of Trustees, for your part in our district's history. A little later in this program, my fellow trustees will be asking each honoree to come up on stage, but first I'd like to take a moment to recognize some elected and appointed dignitaries in the audience. I know we have United States District Judge Randy Crane. We have Hidalgo County Commissioner Hector Tito Palacios. We have State Representative Roberto Gutierrez. We have County Court at Law Judge Jaime Palacios. And Municipal Judge Luis Singletary. They too, like you, hold the hearts of McAllen in their hearts. Hold McAllen in their hearts. We are so pleased to have the McAllen Education Foundation Board here too. I'd like to ask Mr. Steve Crane, the president, to come give you an update on the foundation.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mrs. Aliseta, for introducing us. I'll give you a little background. The McAllen Education Foundation is undergoing for lack of a better word, a rejuvenation of itself. And one of the important people that is helping us is our executive director, Miley Cruz Abbott. And I'll be introducing her in a second. The only thing I want to tell you about is who the board of directors are and who the advisory board of directors are. I think after hearing these names, you will join with me in agreeing that these are people you know, and they're a very diverse group of people representing different interests in the district. Debbie Crane Aliseta. And as I call your name, if you'll please stand up. Debbie, you're already standing. Debbie Crane Aliseta, Marcus Barrera, Ruben Bosquez, Richard Cortez, Hilda Garza de Chezo, Drew Lamantia, Elmo Lopez, Annie Holland Miller, Paul Moxley, our superintendent James Ponce, Christina Rivera, Larry Safir, and Veronica Vela Whitaker. That's our board of directors. I also want to introduce our advisory board. I'll also ask the same thing of them if they'll please stand as their name is read. Abel Alvarez, Lucelma Canales, Kirk Clark, Myrna Garcia, Tiffany Henderson, Alma Ortega Johnson, Teresa Lee, Michael Moore, Keith Patridge, Marty Pison, and Aaron Thornburn. If y'all are stand. I would be remiss if I did not also extend our deepest appreciation to all the current school board members and all former school board members who are here today. McAllen Education Foundation would not be here if it were not for those people. And I think what you see in the names I've read, that these are people who are truly committed to education in McAllen and want to try to help raise funds for expenses that the school district doesn't necessarily have, so we can help further the education and the ideas of the Board of Trustees and Superintendent of the McAllen Independent School District. As I promised, I want to introduce Miley Cruz Abbott, our Executive Director, who's really carrying a load because most of us do not have the time and resources to commit to this, and Miley Cruz keeps it all together. She's the glue that holds the Board of Directors and the Advisory Board together. Miley Cruz.
Good evening, and thank you so much for allowing us to be a part of this very special evening and having this opportunity to share with everyone here our latest foundation update. The foundation's philosophy and guiding principle is that public education should be a collaborative effort between corporate, community, and educational entities. Through this collaborative effort, the foundation will carry out its mission to provide support to help foster excellence and enhance educational opportunities for the students of the McAllen Independent School District. Philanthropic funding through the foundation will be used to fund 3 areas: teacher innovation grants, student scholarships, and professional learning. Eventually and ultimately, we hope that this collaboration will be one we will share with supporters near and far. Our first step, however, is to begin here at home in our own backyard. So, the Board of Directors and the Advisory Board of Directors of the new McAllen Education Foundation join me in announcing and inviting everyone to our inaugural gala fundraiser, Fiesta 2014. The event will take place on Saturday, May 17th, from 7 to 10:30 p.m. at the McAllen Country Club. If you would like to find out more about our gala's sponsorship levels, auction donation opportunity, ticket information, or general information about the foundation, we invite you to visit us at our webpage at the McAllen ISD website or call us at the Community Information Office. With overwhelming enthusiasm, we are looking forward to not only a fun and incredibly successful fundraiser, but the debut of the new McAllen Education Foundation. We thank you in advance for your support and look forward to sharing a wonderful and beautiful evening with all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen Mighty Cruz. And I forgot to realize Commissioner Whitaker. I didn't see you sneak in. Commissioner Whitaker is here. Thank you so much for coming. We know that everyone here holds MISD dear to their heart and want to be among the first to know what is happening here in the district. So we want to invite you here to be the first to join our new key communicators. It's a special email network that is designed to keep you in the know. We are launching it tonight, and there are cards here up at the entrance table for you to sign up so you can receive these emails. Tonight's event has been a labor of love, and I need to thank some people. It took the staff many hours scouring through our historical documents and searching for updated contact information for past board members, so thank you, staff. The TCTA, Texas Classroom of Teachers Association, they wanted to help in honoring you past board members, and they donated the food, so thank you to the TCTA. The Kathy PTO, Friends of IB of Lamar Academy, and the Superintendent's Parental Advisory Group, they contributed to this evening's refreshments as well, so thank you to them. And a special thanks to my friends, Miriam Ferris, Michelle Kinney, Mariela Guarena, Priscilla De Leon, and Sandy Twill for their time in decorating. Thank you. I hope I'm not forgetting anybody, but I am notorious for forgetting people. I'd also like to mention the obvious. We have not been able to locate all past trustees, so if you know how we can get a hold of any of them, please talk to any of us or to the 2 students that are holding clipboards and let them know how we can get a hold of past board members. It's really important because next year is 100 years for McAllen ISD. On March 22nd, 1915, the Texas legislature passed an act creating McAllen Independent School District, and we plan on celebrating. And we really want all you past board trustees here, and we want to find everybody else. So if you could really help us with that, we'd really appreciate it. I've spoken enough. This night is not about me, it's about honoring you, and this board really wanted to do that, and so the steps that you've taken that have led us here to be a nationally recognized leader in education, we so appreciate it. Here's a video of the past that some of you might recognize. We thought it merited an updated rerun. It's entitled, Does Anyone Really Know What a School Board Is or What They Even Do?
What do board members do?
Play. Hunt for people from another country? I don't know what you're talking about. What was the question again?
What do board members do?
Oh, that's one. I think they just do nothing. I think they start having fun.
What do board members do?
They are the boss of all the principals, come and teach kids to learn. If I were a McAllen ISD school board member, I would put a roller coaster for the class to play on it.
Do you know what a board member is?
Yeah, you have to build the board.
They build the board?
Yeah, you have to put legs under it.
Do you know what a trustee is?
Yeah, trustee, but you sit on an elephant when you go on a safari.
How much do you think a board member would get paid?
Cause you pay them for $100.
What do you think they do in their big job?
They tell people answers.
What do you think a board member is?
A person that's bored.
What if I told you a board member makes 0? They don't make anything at all.
Then they're not really a board member.
A person that you could trust on. At our school, it's the principal.
And who do you think is the principal's boss?
The ISD, the owner of the ISD.
Oh, tell me what a board member is.
Border Patrol? A gang? I have no idea.
Okay, what do you think a trustee is?
Someone that you can really trust? If I were a McAllen ISD school board member, I would put a water slide in the classroom, and I would get a chef to cook for us in the cafeteria.
What do you think they make? How much money?
$60.
$60. Would you do a job for $60?
Yeah.
Yeah. What if I said to do that same job, but I'm going to give you $0?
No.
If there was a board member sitting down right here, and you know that the job that they do, you know they don't get paid any money, what would you say to that board member?
Thank you for helping the school.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, McAllen ISD has a long and illustrious history. Sit back, watch, and listen as we present to you the story that is McAllen ISD.
McAllen ISD is a strong and vibrant district that has emerged as a leader in education. It's a district with 25,000 students in a city of more than 130,000, tucked away in a tiny corner of South Texas, a nexus where two cultures blend. It's a place where families matter and children represent the future of the community. Spurred by leaders with vision who seek the best facilities, the best resources, best teachers, and best programs. It's all done with one thought in mind: what is best for children. Like a ship on a long voyage, the district has always had steady hands to guide it. There have been rough seas at times, but perseverance, dedication, and foresight have been hallmarks of the community and its schools. But it didn't get this way overnight. What we see today are the results of steady progress and sound leadership. 100 years in the making.
The first school opened in 1908. There were just 20 students and 1 teacher. There were no buses, no band, no state-of-the-art technology, not even Friday night football.
A railroad station had existed since 1905, making it easier than ever to travel to McAllen. And as the warm climate attracted more ranchers and farmers, the need for more schools arose. At that time, parents could choose whether or not they wanted their child to attend school. In 1915, the talk was of revolution in Mexico. But on this side of the Rio Grande, McAllen's educational picture began to take shape. The Texas legislature passed an act allowing McAllen to become an independent school district. At this point, McAllen began to take on the trappings of a modern school district. The board was authorized to hire teachers, to provide transportation for children, and to collect taxes. Student attendance became compulsory. The first school bond was also passed. A bond issue for $100,000 was approved for a new school building. McAllen ISD was on its way.
In 1917, the board decided that teachers could not attend public entertainment or dances on a school night. There was also a faculty club to house female teachers. A matron was hired to serve as their chaperone. The club served as a dormitory for teachers from 1919 to 1950. Like today, students in the 1920s took a variety of subjects. Some of the old staples have been taught for a long time like history, math, and of course, music.
As the 1920s got underway, McAllen provided for a kindergarten program that began in 1923. At about this time, the school district had grown out of its tiny schoolhouse and now consisted of 4 campuses. Meanwhile, the jazz age was in full swing. Dance crazes were sweeping the nation. The Great Depression struck on Wall Street in 1929. South Texas was not immune to its effects. In fact, during much of the 1930s, the district had to borrow money nearly every month to meet payroll. During this period, what was called the North Ward School became known as Woodrow Wilson Elementary. In 1936, Sam Houston Elementary opened. Then in 1939, a new building opened on North 10th Street and Jasmine Avenue. It would serve as a high school for 3 years before becoming Lamar Junior High. Built as part of President Roosevelt's New Deal program, the campus, today known as Lamar Academy, was designated an historic building in 2008. In 1949, the school nurse becomes a mainstay. McAllen originally had one nurse for every 2 campuses. During this period, the district also had a school for its black population. The Booker T. Washington School, a high school, opened in 1941. The landmark Brown v. Board of Education Supreme Court decision was still more than a decade away. The Washington School was closed in 1957, and McAllen was an integrated district. In the 1950s, school boards approved the construction of 5 new elementary schools and 1 junior high. 4 of these schools are still in use. 3 schools in the 50s were named for Hispanic historical figures, something former board member Dario Garcia recalls.
The idea that came to me to have them named because we had the schools named after Texas heroes. I thought it would be proper to have their names in these schools in their honor.
It was a time for change. Garcia remembers serving on the board with a trailblazer. Lucille Hendricks joined the board in 1953 and became the first woman to serve as board president in 1959. Hendricks Elementary is one of just 2 schools in McAllen to be named after a former school board member. The other is Gonzalez Elementary. It's named after Leonello Gonzalez, who served on the board in the 1950s.
It was during this time the school board formed a choral program. Glee clubs had existed in the past, but now choir would become a staple.
Built
The 1960s would be a decade of growth. New programs came in as well. As more and more students came to McAllen, the district adapted programs to accommodate the needs of special populations. UIL competition has always been popular. There was a time when students competed for local and state honors in events like shorthand, slide rule, and typewriting. Then the growth continued into the 1970s. It wasn't just new schools popping up. In 1975, a new stadium for athletics was built. Originally called Memorial Stadium, it was and still is the largest stadium in the Rio Grande Valley. In nearly 40 years, it has seen graduation ceremonies, band performances, soccer, track, and about 500 varsity football games.
Here in McAllen, it's always been the city of innovations, progress, we didn't stay behind. We always wanted to be either the leaders or provide the best for our children.
Also during this time, McAllen ISD became home to the Regional School for the Deaf. Since then, thousands of students from Mercedes to Roma are bused each day to be in McAllen ISD's care.
Continuing a pattern of providing opportunities and experiences for students, in 1979, the school board decided to bring back a district-wide orchestra for its music offerings. It started on the small side, but today it is a vibrant part of a healthy music program.
The 1980s brought more watershed moments. After more than 70 years, McAllen opened up a second high school, McAllen Memorial. For the first time, McAllen had an intercity rivalry, a friendly one between the Bulldogs and the Mustangs. A third high school began in 1992 as Rowe 9th grade school was transformed. Suddenly, the Warriors were here to be reckoned with. Athletics has long been part of the fabric of the district. Football was established in 1914. Players wore leather helmets without a face mask. Today, they have the most modern equipment and resources available. Other sports have a long history: baseball, boys and girls basketball, track and volleyball. In the 1980s, the board paved the way for a soccer program. In the 90s, softball was added, followed soon after by wrestling. Today, more than 4,000 boys and girls participate in the district's athletic programs. Swimming has also been around a long time, but it wasn't until the early 90s that the district acquired something many districts do not have: a natatorium. McAllen swim programs have gone on to win numerous championships in the last 20 years. All of these efforts occurred due to laser-like focus on student needs.
I'm very proud of what McAllen has done in the past and will do in the future, because we've had some good board members that have been able to carry on the thing that we thought would be necessary to have a successful school.
During this time, the Board of Trustees increased the district's commitment to provide quality instruction in the arts. They approved music instruction taught by music specialists for all students kindergarten through 12th grade. In 1998, realizing that good nutrition is linked to effective learning, the district began to offer free breakfast and free lunch for all students. This program continues to this day. In efforts to cope with aging campuses and student growth, the district successfully managed 2 school bonds, one from 1997 and the other in 2005.
This is the first new elementary school in this part of town in 50 years. It's a big deal.
The 2 bonds paved the way for 8 new schools in 8 years. In addition, new structures designed to support students and staff were established. The traditional school bus, in shape and design as well as the number, have changed drastically over time. In the early part of the new century, the district became the first in the valley to establish an International Baccalaureate diploma program. This globally recognized program challenges students to their utmost. The district has since expanded the IB curriculum into elementary and middle schools and is on course to become an IB district in 2015. It continues a tradition of strong academics, which includes the Advanced Placement Program that saw its origins in the late 1980s, and also dual enrollment, which today has more than 1,600 student participants. Dual enrollment is through partnerships with local institutions of higher learning. The Achieve Early College High School was established in 2008. It offers students an opportunity to earn an associate's degree before they even graduate from high school. The district has often named schools for outstanding community members. This includes Michael Fossum, the Valley's only astronaut. Fossum's message to reach higher and higher has inspired educators too. In 2011, the district initiated a long-term framework revolutionizing the way children are taught. Tapping into this generation's tech-savvy know-how, the district made it possible to provide electronic learning devices to every student. At the time, McAllen ISD was one of the largest school districts in the country to provide devices on a one-to-one basis. The move garnered national and even international attention. Educators from all over began to study McAllen ISD's model.
Modern electronic devices can be a wonderful tool, opening doors for students to create in whole new ways. They can go wherever their inspiration takes them, even to places they never thought before.
I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, scared to rock the boat and make a mess. So I sat quietly, agreed politely. I guess that I forgot I had a choice, that you pushed me past the breaking point. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. You hear my voice, you hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. You held me down, but I got up. Get ready, cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, the fire, dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. You're gonna hear me roar. Now I'm floating like a butterfly, stinging like a bee. I earned my stripes. I went from zero to my own hero. You held me down, but I got up, already brushing off the dust. Hear my voice, hear that sound, like thunder gonna shake the ground. Held me down, but I got up. Get ready, cause I've had enough. I see it all, I see it now. I got the eye of the tiger, the fire, dancing through the fire. 'Cause I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar louder, louder than a lion. I am a champion, and you're gonna hear me roar. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. You're gonna hear me roar. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 you'll hear me roar. Oh, 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 oh. You're gonna hear me roar.
So we went from that one to that now, right?
The can-do spirit has always prevailed in this community. It's evident in the district's teachers, too. Their dedication and scholarship has earned the respect and admiration at the regional and state level. Through the years, caring, guiding hands have been there for the children of McAllen ISD. Others have recognized this. Individuals come from different backgrounds and different experiences, but the focus always remains on children.
The school system here in McAllen has been a very progressive school system all along. I think we've had very, very good leaders. We've had very good board members that have always tried to do for the community through the school board and through the city commission.
From tiny sparks, an inferno of creativity has taken root. Today, the annual String Fling Orchestra concert features about 900 students. In the Choral Festival for fourth graders, more than 400 children annually take part. Quite a change from the days of the single white schoolhouse. It's been a century of growth and progress. Generation after generation has stepped up to nurture, to teach, and to lead. It's decades of leadership and foresight, decades of devotion.
As you all know, you can't put a program like this together without very many people behind the scenes. So thank you so much, first and foremost, to our students. Give another hand to our students all across. our fine arts staff that put this all together. Our community information and MITV staff also. TCTA, Kathy PTO, our parent advisory group and parent involvement specialist, Friends of IB, student ambassadors, of course our board and all parent volunteers for this wonderful presentation. We'd like to end it with a message from the people around the district who are benefiting from your decades of devotion.
Thank you, McAllen ISD School Board members. Yay! We appreciate you. MISD number 1. Thank you, school board members, for all you do for the students in McAllen. Thank you for helping us with our learning.
Gracias.
Merci, Danny. Thank you for. Hey, hey, what do you say? Thank you for. Hey, hey, what do you say? Thank you for. Hey, hey, what do you say? Thank you for. Thank you. Because of you, we can learn anywhere. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for providing us the opportunity to participate in extracurricular activities. We love our school board. Thank you for making our future bright.
At this time, we're going to ask the honorees to come join us on the stage for a special recognition.
Good evening, everyone. I am Hilda Garza de Chezo, and I have been asked to start the list. I suppose they did this because I am the oldest school board member in age anyway, and of course they have to respect their elders. So I'd like to begin with the decade from 1915 to 1925. We had A.D. Level, C.M. Card, C.O. Allen, Charles Rich, Dr. F.E. Osborne, Dr. R.E. Doss, Fred Henninger, Fred Taylor, G.E. Langford, J.H. Beatty, W.J. Knudsen, O.P. Archer, R.H. Osborne, R.L. Lewis, R.W. Ware, Scott Taylor, and W.G. Stewart. From 1926 to 1935, we had A.A. Guerra, A.D. Dean, A.D. Level, A.F. Vanay, C.M. Card, Charles D. Turner, Dr. A.B. Cockram, Dr. R.M. McGill, E.J. Murphy, F.N. Taylor, George Alley, H.B. Glenningding, J.H. Beatty, John W. Ewing, John Wiesahan, L.E. Weber, Mrs. C.C. McDaniel, Mrs. C.O. Rockwell, V.A. Ramsower, W.L. Holland, William Clark, and William Rees. Thank you.
Everybody knows that Hilda and I are always joking about each other's age, but I think Debbie had the last laugh today because she assigned Hilda the names of those serving when Hilda was in school. And I was right behind her, okay? The names from 1936 to 1945, A.A. Guerra, A.D. Dean, A.F. Vanoy, Aubrey Thomas, D.H. Motley, George Chopapas, H. Chris Carey, H.B. Glendenning, John Wiesahan, Ellie Weber, L.L. O'Neill, Lewis Moore, Lewis Wirtz, Ray Losh, W.E. Crawford, W.J. Burris, William Rise. From 1946 to 1955, Cecile D. Robinson, D.A. Purrier Jr., D.H. Motley, Dr. H.E. Wiggum, Engel M. Arnold, Francis M. Lynn. With us this evening representing Mr. Fred Phillips is John Phillips, Mr. G.A. Thomas, H. Chris Carey, Hobson Yancey, I.W. Berwick, Larry Fritz. Representing Mr. Leonelo Gonzalez is his daughter, Cecilia Gutierrez, Mr. Louis H. Moore, Mrs. Harold Lucille Hendricks, R.E. Chastain, R.E. Finch, W.E. Crawford, William J. Burris. Mr. Dele.
Good evening. The next decade is 1956 to 1965. Mr. R.E. Chastain, and then Mr. Dario Garcia, who's present here this evening. Mr. Garcia. Mr. David Harger, Jr., Dr. H.E. Wingham, Dr. Ramiro Caso, Mr. Edward W. Heath, Mr. Engel M. Arnold, Ms. Francis M. Lynn, Hudson Yancey, Jesse Trevino, Mr. Jesse Trevino, and I think he's present here this evening. Okay. He's being escorted by one of our student ambassadors. Mr. Trevino. Mr. Larry M. Fritz, Mrs. Harold Lucille Hendricks, Mayor Othel E. Brand, Mr. R. E. Chastain, Mr. Winford Dean, Mr. Woodbury F. Pride, and that is the board members that served from 1956 to 1965. The next decade of recognition of board members is 1966 to 1975. Mr. Albert Anzaldúa, Mr. Arturo Chapa, and Mr. Arturo Chapa is here present this evening. Mr. Calvin Benson, Mr. Carl H. Huden Jr., Dr. Frank Benya, Dr. H. E. Winningham, Dr. James F. Fitch, Mr. Eduardo Izaguirre, and I believe Mr. Izaguirre is present here this evening. Mr. Glenn R. Jarvis, and Mr. Jarvis is here this evening. Mr. James R. Moyer, Mr. James W. Johnson, Mr. Jesse Trevino for another term. Again, Mr. Othel R. Brand, or Mayor Brand, for another term. Mr. R. E. Chastain, and Mr. Tony Guerra. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is Larry Esparza, and I'll be introducing the honored board members from 1976 through 1985. Albert Alzaldúa, Arturo Chapa, Dr. Gilbert Cárdenas, Dr. James F. Fitch, Dr. Kenneth Landrum, who's here today, Eduardo Izaguirre, who's up here on the stage already, Estela Cuellar, Glenn Jarvis, who's up on the stage, James Moffett, James Moyer, Jesse Trevino on the stage, Judy Godinez, Rick Godinez will be here on her behalf. Julio Guzman, Roberto Garcia, Robert's here. Sue Zipper. Moving on to 1986 through 1995, Alfonso Ibanez, Carmen Avila, I believe Ms. Avila is here. Dean Burks Epsinson, Estela Cuellar, James Moffett, Joe Warren Friend Jr., Julio Guzman, Kenneth D. Cruz, Nicholas Quesada, I believe Mr. Quesada is here, Norma Cárdenas, Roberto Garcia, who's on the stage, Rodney Newberg, Sam O. Olivares, Sue Zipper, Susan P. Miller.
We'll continue on to 1996 to 2005. Alex Palacios, Alfonso Ibanez, Armando Castro, Coronado Ito Alvarado, Dean Burks Eppinson, Dr. Dora E. Cerverda. I know I butchered that name, I apologize. Dr. Ricardo Chapa, I know he's here. He still keeps us on our toes. Guillermo Mendez. Mr. Mendez is here. Javier Farias, Kenneth Cruz, Mark Kent, Myrna Garcia, as you all know, she's still very active. She sits on the McAllen Education Foundation. Nicholas Quesada, he's already up on stage. Noe Tamez, Ricardo Vela, Mr. Richard Moore, Roberto, or as I know him, Bobby Gutierrez, Jr. So if you realize Bobby's mother, Cecilia Gutierrez, is up here for her father, Leonel Gonzalez, who was also on the school board. Robin Welch. Mr. Welch just drove in from San Antonio. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Sam Olivares, Sarah Tippett, Susie Miller, who's on stage already, Teresa Lee, and Mr. William D. Pison, Bill Pison, and we have his wife Val Pison here to stand for him. We'll continue on to the decade 2006 to 2014. Coronado Ito Alvarado, Dr. Joseph Caparuso, Dr. Ricardo Chapa, he's already on stage, Javier Farias, Mark Kent, Myrna Garcia is already on stage, Richard Moore, already on stage, Sarah Tippett, Teresa Lee, and we can't forget Mr. Daniel D. Vela. Hilda Garza de Shazo, Larry Esparza, Sam Saldivar Jr., Jonathan Ball, who's working hard, and Miss Erica de la Garza, who's working hard as well. Oh, and myself, Debbie Cran, I said that.
We invite all of you to please join us up on the risers so we can take a group photograph.
Hello again. We just wanted to thank everybody for being with us tonight, and a special thank you to the Director of Fine Arts, Karen Herrera, and our fine arts students. I felt like Dr. Nelson from UTPA when we were watching that. I thought, I'm just going to start to cry because we have so much talent in McAllen, and it's so exciting, and it's so heartwarming for us to be able to show you. So thank you for what you've done for our children and for our city, and thank you for being bold, inspirational, and courageous for children, and most importantly, thank you for making our job so easy. And thank y'all for coming and showing honor to these past board trustees. Y'all get it, and we appreciate that you get it. Thank you so much.